People, it's me, Kinghuman. Listen up. I'm going to try and help you out here, hopefully. And I want to continue this video series I've been doing that I call Conversations with Friends at Lunch. And the premise is I turn on the camera and I talk to you as if you were my best buddy and we were sitting down to lunch. I'm giving you the benefit of my genius. And the reason I'm doing that is because you know that you've known me all these years and you've seen me go from being a programmed battery in the matrix to a millionaire. And how I did that was by reprogramming my thinking. You know, and I think this is fundamental to any success. If you look at any successful person in life, they think differently. They haven't bought into the conventional wisdoms that we are programmed with from birth. Now, I've talked about this in the previous videos, so I don't really want to rehash it too much in this video. But basically, you've been programmed from birth to be a source of cheap labor to the industrial corporate complex. This happened when the Industrial Revolution hit. Basically, we used to be all our own person. We used to be self-employed back when we were an agrarian society. We were farmers, we were ranchers, you know. Then the Industrial Revolution hit and they realized they needed programmed people. They needed cheap labor to run these assembly lines, and that's never really changed. The only difference is instead of big assembly lines, now they're programming people to go work in cubicles. And the insidious thing is, we believe this programming because we are grabbed from a young age. We are grabbed at birth and put into this programming machine. And we're an empty vessel at that point. Our brains are empty, right? And we are programmed from birth to learn this, and this, so that we can go out and get a JOB, which stands for just over broke. They don't teach us how to be independent. They don't teach us how to be millionaires. They teach us how to service the millionaires, how to go out and sell ourselves on a wholesale level to make other people rich. What do I mean by that? Well, basically, if you're working at a job and the guy's paying you $100 a day, you gotta know he's making at least $500 to $1,000 a day off of your efforts, off of your labor, whatever it is you're doing. I don't care if you're a plumber working for somebody. I don't care if you're working in insurance. I don't care what you're doing. The guy that's employing you has bought you wholesale. You're not getting paid your true value. You're getting paid what he has decided you're worth. So I make these videos in an effort to try and get you to realize there is another path. You can be the guy in charge. You can fight the power and put yourself on the throne. Something you haven't been taught. But in order to do that, I think the fundamental thing you need to do is to question the programming. Question everything you've learned up to this point. And question the institutions that have fed you this garbage. I've said this in a previous video. I've said it in many previous videos. You're going to have to do two things that are very, very difficult if you want to be a success in life. The first thing you're going to have to do is unlearn the garbage that you have in your head. You're going to have to clean house. You have a giant globule of black gunk in between your ears that has been put there. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. You've been fed all of this crap. It's not your fault. You believe it. You've been taught to believe it. From birth. How do you fight that? You can't. You can only fight it once you're smart enough to question it. Well, now that you're of an age where your synapses in your brain are all firing and you have the ability to question and reason, you need a tool that will allow you to question and recognize the programming for what it is, so that then once you recognize what's garbage and what's good, you can take the garbage out of your head. So how do you do that? I want to give you the tool right now. And I'm going to challenge you to actually use this tool. And the tool is psychology. I want you to take 2 hours tonight and go on YouTube or go buy a book or you've got a computer with a search engine. I want you to take some courses, some kind of education in psychology so that you understand why you do the things you do, why you make the decisions you make, why you think the way you do. Because once you do that, you're going to be able to recognize what I call the insidious programming for what it is. Once you recognize it, you can get rid of it and replace it with information that will enable you and empower you to be a millionaire, if that's what you want to be whatever you want to be in life. But you can't do it with the programming that you've got now because it's handcuffing you. Now, when I say I'm going to challenge you to go do that and invest just 2 hours tonight in yourself, invest 2 hours into your own personal development, I want you to think. I want you to think about how much time you spend watching football or watching TV or doing whatever stupid thing you do, playing video games, wasting your potential. And how much time you actually spend in personal development. I guarantee you the scales are tilted huge towards entertainment instead of self-empowerment. And it's not your fault. It's what you've been taught to do. The spirit, the fight, the energy, the desire has been beaten out of you. You have no belief that you can succeed in life because you've been taught that you can't. Let me give you an example, a real world example of an actual email I got the other day. I got an email from somebody that joined my website, the KinghumanElite.com, and he said, Kinghuman, I just joined your website and I'm amazed at what you're giving us for $15. Yes, I charge $15 and I do it for a reason. I might get into that later, and he said, I can't believe what you're giving us. Everything you said, you're giving us the tools, the training, the education, the business isn't about, you're giving us everything. And what I really like are the mental mindset education that you give us every month too. That is huge. But I want to be honest with you and I want to tell you that I'm never going to use any of that. I'm never going to go into business for myself. I'm never going to try any of this. I'm not even going to do it. I can't be a success. And it made me incredibly angry and frustrated. And I emailed him back and I said, why? Why would you think that way? You've given up before you've even tried. Are you that paralyzed? Why would you do that? And he wrote me back and he said, well, because too many other people out there are trying to make money online and trying to become self-empowered. And it just illustrated to me how deeply programmed this guy was. He was so programmed to the point of paralysis. Now, let me use an analogy. Here's a guy who is motivated. He has shown me that he has a desire to change his existing life. He doesn't like where he's at right now. The reason I know he's motivated is because he actually joined my website. He actually paid $15. Now, yeah, $15 is a token amount, especially to me. I mean, let me tell you something. $15 isn't going to change my lifestyle even a little bit. The reason I ask people to pay $15 to join my website, it's not for me, it's for them. Because I've noticed people that get something for free do not value it. They will not value it and they do not put effort behind it. But if somebody makes a commitment and says, yes, I'm going to give you $15, That's a psychological validation point, and it empowers them to get off their ass and follow through, because they've broken that psychological barrier and they've made a commitment. $15, again, doesn't seem like much at all. It's not. It's really not. It's the kind of money you could find in a couch cushion or in the back seat of your car. But for a lot of people to say, yes, here's $15, it's a psychological validation point. And that's something you're going to learn if you take some psychology, and you'll understand the importance of it. But here's a guy who has said, $15, I want to change my life. And then once he gets into the website, he says, this is great. It's all fantastic. I want to change my life, but I'm not going to do anything. He wants to run the race. He wants to get in the race, but he's sitting on the sidelines on a bench with cement shoes on. He sees other people running this race. He sees other people winning this race. And he wants to get off the bench, but he is so paralyzed. All he has to do is look down, untie his cement shoes, and take them off. And he can go run in this race. But he cannot even do that. He cannot even untie his shoes. Why? Because he has been programmed not to. And he believes that programming so deeply that he won't even make that much of an effort to take off a shoe. Now, yes, that's an analogy, but it's a good analogy. It demonstrates exactly what's going on here, and it might demonstrate what's going on with you. Because I'm telling you to go, the first step towards changing your life is to get some psychological training and invest 2 hours tonight in your own personal development. Are you going to do that? 99.9% of you won't. And I know that statistically. I know that. I've done this video before, and I've said, hey, invest in yourself, get some psychological training. Now, when I made that video, it was a couple of weeks ago, I know a couple of thousand people saw that video. I got great comments on it. Everybody said, Kinghuman, I love what you're saying. Yes, I agree with you 1,000%, blah, 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 blah. Some of you even shared that video on Facebook. Maximum respect. That's how cool you were with the information. But yet, of those people that watched that video, when I said, step 1, get some psychological training, learn some psychology, understand your decision-making process. How many people did that? Less than 0.5%, I guarantee it. And I guarantee that's the way it's going to be with this video too. So when it comes to changing your mindset and changing your place in the world, becoming a millionaire, doing what needs to be done, I can give you the motivation. I can give you the steps you need to take, but you need to take those steps. I cannot physically grab your foot and put one foot in front of the other and push you down the path. I want to shake you and say, get off your ass. Stop playing video games. Stop watching football. Stop doing whatever you're doing for 2 hours. Invest 2 hours tonight, or invest 5 hours over the next weekend in expanding your thought process. All you have to do is take some psychology courses. And you don't have to take college level courses. You can just go on and get some armchair psychology from some YouTube videos. You can get some basic psychology books with a simple Google search for free. But do something. Otherwise, I can't help you. You're like this guy sitting on the bench who refuses to untie his shoes and get in the race. I don't know what more I can say to you guys. So I'm at the point now where I have a lot more steps to give you. This is only step 1. Understanding your own decision-making process, getting a psychological, getting an objective psychological perspective and evaluating and taking inventory of what you have of what you have between your ears. Hang on. That's step one. I've got many other steps. And if you take them all, you will become a success. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but you will be on the right path. The path for you. Everybody has a different path to success, but you have to be able to recognize the path when you see it, and if you don't see it, you have to be able to make your own path. All right, guys, I hope all of this makes sense to you. I don't know. I'll look at all the feedback. I'll read all of your comments, and I really am trying to give you this information because I wish somebody had given it to me when I was young. So, take it for what it's worth. Do it, don't do it. It's up to you. It's your life. All right, guys, maximum respect. Donate a few bucks to help a sick kid at St. Jude's Research Hospital for Kids. What could be better, right? Cheers.
Hi, this is a courtesy call from Steve, head of the PR department at Homo Sapien Programming. Please stop revealing some of our most closely guarded secrets. Maybe you should consider all the time you use making videos to go out and go shopping. And maybe you can go to church or watch some college or professional sports. Again, please shut the up about our programming and go watch some TV or something. Have a great day, and hail Satan.